Everybody, we coming to you with this video today, and I'm hungry. She done took all day to do this thing, so let's get it. Let's go. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Monet'Monet coming to you with my second video. And this video is very special because I have a very special guest. Mommy! Hi! Miss Lisa to y'all. So today we're going to be talking about a very important subject to us because we're living it. We are roommates. Yes, roommates. I am 27 years old and I still live at home with my mother and her baby boy. So we're just going to be talking about pros and cons of living with your parents, stuff that may bother her that I do, and stuff that may bother me that she does, and then times like this where we're actually getting along to do a video. It's not all bad. So, you want to start from the parent point of view? From the parent point of view, I mean, it used to be, I believe, and still some people probably would consider it, they like to frown upon grown children staying at home. But I only frown upon that when the child is not doing anything. In other words, she do go to school, she is working, so she get a pass on that, and she's working towards trying to get established enough to move out. And I understand that. This is not the first time we've done this. It's been 3 generations under this household for 20-some years pretty much. Started out, it was me, my mom, and Brooke, and we did it. Wasn't always peachy keen because 2 grown people in the household together do bump heads at times, but I wouldn't have had it no other way, considering that the way God had life planned out for her to get so ill off and on later on, until it was of a much needed requirements. I'm single, my sister is married, so it worked out. It worked out for me, and like I said, didn't have any problems with it. Living with a grown adult child, it is challenging sometimes, but we get through it. Some days we're really best friends. Some days we're at each other's throat. Tell the truth. Some days, whatever. And then sometimes we're just, whatever. Just kind of quiet. Everybody just kind of do their own thing. One thing about it, everybody have their own room. So once you do get in that situation to where you don't want to be talking to nobody, you just go to your room. I have no problems with that. The only thing I have problems with is dum 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 dum, and she know what that is. We're not gonna say that on camera. We supposed to be telling it all. We're not gonna say that on camera. It's not even just her. I'm pretty sure after talking to all her other friends and everything, they do the same thing. And I'm pretty sure their mothers, the ones that still was at home, or the ones that even have their own places, they still do the same thing. Don't nobody want to clean up. And she do. And I do clean up sometimes. But I hate laundry. Laundry is my absolute bottom of the list. Hate doing it. Hate folding clothes. Hate hanging up clothes. I hate laundry. Well, who does? I mean, some people may get a joy out of it, but I don't even really get a joy out of it. But I just know it has to be done, because I don't want to see it sitting around. Yeah, it's just that with me living here,
me and my son live upstairs pretty much. We have our own little loft up there. And I have to go up and down the stairs to get to the laundry room. Now she, on the other hand, always got the closest room to everything.
But
so she be like, and I'm like, come on now. Like, I have to go up and down the stairs, lug these heavy baskets, whatever. I clean up. I clean up my son's room, I clean up my room, I clean my bathroom. But she just wants it done on her time, not my time.
Not necessarily my time. I'm just used to I'm a single parent. I always have been a single parent. You know, her dad is in her life. But as far as raising her here in Texas, I was a single parent. And I was raised pretty much off and on by a single parent sometimes. My mother, I just watched her do it. And being a single parent, you can't wait around for stuff to get done. You gotta do it. So it's just not on my time. It's just because it's time to do it. So, and that's just me. And I have maybe a little OCD problem. You know,
a little. Anybody watching this video, you know, my mom, you know, she got a whole lot of OCD problem. She is so particular. I can go in her room and borrow a nail polish, and she will notice that one singular out of the thousands of nail polishes she has that is gone, or that her door has been open, and it may be closed now, but she know when it's been open because the carpet look a certain way when they sweep past it. Like, she
that let me know if a thief has been amongst me. A thief is a thief.
She's OCD, but you know, I get it because like she said, now I'm a parent now, so when my son has swords and nunchucks and like everything sprawled around the floor, I kind of like, hey, pick that up, pick it up. So I get it. Now it's a lot that, you know, you'll be like, oh no, my parents tripping, they don't know what they're talking about, but they do know what they're talking about, because a lot of the stuff that they tell you to do, you're gonna start telling your kids to do, unconsciously doing it. So I get what she's saying about that, and that's one of my things to work on. I hate laundry, but I'm going to work on doing laundry. But back on the subject of living at home with a parent, from my point of view, me and my mom have always been really open with each other. Like, I've always pretty much been able to talk to her about anything, and you know, so it's not the hardest thing to live at home with her. I lived at home with my dad too. It wasn't the hardest thing. It did teach me a lot of discipline though, because they always made sure they were on me about going to school and working. So I've always worked since my very first job. I've worked, only time I didn't work was my first year of college, but so it's been a discipline thing for me. This may be hard to believe for some people, but in my early 20s, I had a curfew. Living with my dad, I had to be at home by 1:30. So you can imagine the club just getting popping at 11, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go home.
But your dad is also a minister, so.
And he is a minister, so you know. And it did keep me out of a lot of trouble that happened past 1:30.
And being under that person's roof, so.
Yeah. So I understood that, because at my dad's house I didn't have to pay anything. The only thing he wanted me to do was go to school and work. So
but
I had to abide by. But now living here,
but now
I have bills.
Yeah, now though. She ain't always had bills.
I haven't always had bills.
She haven't always had bills. It's just, and she still don't even have full bills. Like, as far as household go, she just paid a fraction of stuff. And that's just to get them, you know, hey, you 27, you're living at home, so this is just like your own place for right now. And it's just getting her ready for when she do move out. It's getting her responsibility so she'll know rent and all that stuff due. Yeah, she's 27. Yeah, she's learning. So being at home is not just that. She's still getting some stuff from me that's gonna help her out there. that I didn't get when I was at home. And just to kind of switch up the subject a little bit, it's just not all, just because we living together and you're grown and living at home. I still teach her everything. I'm trying to teach her about credit. Credit is like the ultimate, and she's getting it. She's got it. Good credit, and it's a wonderful thing.
Both my parents have excellent credit.
So it's like, it's just like giving her the foundation still, even though she's still at home, but it's still, she's grown. And I treat her that she's grown. It's only every now and then I might forget. I might forget, because she always gonna be my baby girl and my only baby girl, so I can be a little overprotective sometimes, even as an adult. But those of you who know your parents, and if you have good parents, that's just a part of being a parent, is being overprotective. And you just always want to make sure your child is good, no matter how old they are. So my thing was, as long as she was in school and stuff like that, I can, assist with that. She needs help with her baby. She's a single parent as well. So I do a lot as far as that go, because he's my baby.
And to add on to what she's saying about being overprotective, I feel like my parents both are, kind of still had a hand, but they let me bite the bait if need be. If they feel like it's not something necessarily the best for me, they're always gonna be like, well, we gotta let her do her. So she'll see what I mean whenever it, falls back on me. So they're overprotective in a sense to where they just want to keep me from making mistakes that they may have made and that they see other people make. And that's understandable. That's what all parents, whether you live with your parent or not, I'm sure, if they're a good parent, they'll kind of be like, hey, you might not need to do that, because that might not be the best option, but might not be the best job, might not be the best man to date, anything like that. So,
and being that the world is just so much more different than when we were coming up, crime has been crime, but it's a little on a different, whole nother level these days. People try some different stuff these days, and don't think that we're still holding a rope over. She is grown. She come and go here as she please, because she do pay bills, and I instill it in her that this is not just my house, this is her and Carter's house. So she know this for a fact, that you paying some rent here, so hey, you better treat this like this is your home. So it's not, like I say, living with your parent is not bad. Like I said, I did it. It wasn't intentional when I did it. My mom had her personal reasons why she left her home and her marriage, but when she moved with me, it was the best thing possible at that time for her. And right now, Brooke and I living together is the best thing possible for her, being that she's trying to get a grip on being a single parent, trying to accomplish a whole lot of things. And basically, and getting the knowledge of, once you do step out, hey, at least you can have your stuff together when you do step out, and you didn't rush and step out like some people usually do, or some people get forced out, which is fine too, because you got to let them grow up. And like I said, I'm not stopping her from growing up at all. She has her own things that she do that she don't tell me, and I ain't expecting for her to tell me, and which is just totally fine with me. But all in all, it's not a bad situation these days, when grown kids still live with their parents and stuff. Like I say, most of the time it's always that they're trying to accomplish something, is what I see in the ones that she is associated with. Most of them are trying to accomplish something. Some are out there. Some unfortunately had to get out there early because of unfortunate things, like maybe a death in the family or something like that. But hey, each case is case by case.
And that's what I was gonna
basically
say.
We're just our case,
because I know a lot of different people, and I know a lot of different situations, why people move out and things like that. And we're not knocking anybody that is not living at home. We're not knocking you. I commend like my friends and people that I know and other people that are able to stand on their own 2 feet and be out there and handle everything on their own. It's just, for me, it's a time thing. Everything, ever since I grew up, learned a lot, been through a lot, I just had to learn how to not rush everything. Like, I wanted to move out so bad because everybody else was moving out. I was getting older. All my friends are like, oh, I'm getting this place, I got this house, I got this apartment, this and that. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and move out. And then I started being like that with everything. And like, I want to meet a man. I want to hurry up and meet a man. I want to hurry up and get married. I want to hurry up and start my business. I want to hurry up and do this and that. And then I became overwhelmed, and to a point to where it was literally bringing me down because I was so worried about trying to hurry up and do everything. And I just want to let everybody know, you don't have to be in a rush. Like, everything is going to happen in God's timing. So financially, I'm not in the best position to be out on my own. So I'm not going to move out and, you know, struggle. I don't want to have to. I know there's going to be hardships. I know you're going to fight all hard times sometimes. But
and not necessarily that.
And not necessarily.
When
some people don't.
When it's the time, you excuse me, when it's the time, you will, you know. That's one reason why I'm still instilling it. You know, I didn't plan for you to be at home at 27. I didn't leave home till I was 23. But by that time, I already had you. And once again, some, you know, unfortunate things, and it was time for me to go. But when I moved out, I moved into with someone as togetherness. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry, my drainage. I moved in with her dad, so we were actually living together. So I didn't start out on my own. I actually started out with him. But in this day and time, I don't recommend starting it out. And it wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't bad or nothing like that. It's just that in this day and time, I recommend you starting out on your own. So you can know you can do it on your own. And that's just the independent woman in me. Even though I could do it on my own. Because once we did break up or whatever, I did continue to keep the apartment. And then I kept the apartment not for me, but I kept it for Brooke. And then my mom eventually moved in with me. Moved into a bigger one so we can have more space. But moved into another bigger place to have more space. But my thing is, it's all about what needs to happen at that given time. It's just about what needs to happen at that given time, and it's like she said, God's plan. It's not always your plan to be at home at a certain time or have to leave and come back home. Just always be appreciative that you have a place to come back to, is what that is. Because she did leave and go to college. I would have never thought that, being that she was the only child. She left and moved to Mississippi where her dad was for what, 4 years?
About
5 years. So that was a big accomplishment for us. Only child, had never been away from home no more than just to go visit, you know, and come back. But I knew then she'll be okay. She gonna be okay. She gonna be all right. But when she do get out there, she probably won't come back like I did. Because when I left home,
no offense,
the day, and I know it ain't no offense, trust. I want you to stay gone, because every time you move, every time somebody moves, I'll go down the side. So basically, because it'll be just me. She is the only child, so it'll be just me. So I have no problem with her moving. Trust. Camera, no problem. Wig, go naked, no problem. But I have no problem with her moving, honey. I'm not hindering her. I'm not keeping her here. It's just happened to be working for her right now with the stuff that she have going on, and she's about to get it. She's about to get it. She's about to get it. And hopefully soon will be soon, and she will be able to move.
And one thing I commend my parents on that I feel like a lot of what the African American community is missing is, like, I know we want to help our kids to be independent and strong and stand on their own 2 feet, but my God, like, you have to give them some type of guidance. Like, you can't just, I don't feel like you should just push your child out in the world with nothing, with no life jacket, no floaties, no nothing. Like, we do that so often. I see a lot of people get pushed out the house, kicked out at a certain age. And one thing I commend my parents on is giving me that life jacket that I need. So when I do get out, like she said, I will stay gone. Me and my kid are gonna be set because I have the tools and the knowledge. Like, all the talks, all the morning speeches from my dad, my stepmom giving me advice because she's an independent, strong woman too. And I'll be good when I move out. I know for a fact that I'll be straight. I know how to decorate. I know how to keep stuff in the refrigerator. That's one of her main things. Keeping the stock free.
I got it from the best, because my thing is, eating out ain't always good. And just because if you can eat out, that ain't always good. My thing is, I've always had a cushion in the house, and that's, like I said, that comes from my mom. My mom always kept the pantry full or anything, because if her money got low, then we had something to eat. She always could come up with a meal. That was always 1 or 2 things in that kitchen that matched. But you know, and that's just the way it is. And I still to this day buy groceries the same way. People go to the grocery and just pick up the stuff they need just for right then. I'm teaching her that go to the grocery store and get everything you need, so you don't have to keep coming back to the grocery store like 2 times in 1 week. I go and buy everything. I make a list. I buy everything that I need. The next time I go to the store, maybe 2-3 weeks later, or even 4 weeks later, almost a month. Like now, everything in the refrigerator, there's still something in there to cook. You make 2 or 3 meals for a whole 3 weeks. You know,
I'm learning to cook.
Yeah, she's learning to cook.
I cook different stuff now. I don't just cook the hamburger
Party
helper
and
nachos and rotel and meatballs. I know how to cook different stuff now, thanks to my mama and Super Scent. Shout out to Super Scent, the cooking on Instagram. But it's just, for anybody out there thinking that they have to be in a rush to do anything, do not be in a rush. Everything is gonna happen naturally how it's supposed to. So just be patient, enjoy the journey. That was one of my church messages one day. Enjoy the journey that you're on. Like, we get so hung up on where we think we should be in life to where we don't even enjoy what has happened to get us to that point. And I feel like everything that happens in between is the best part, because that's a part of your testimony. So don't be in a rush. Living with your parents is okay. Not forever. If you don't have to.
If you don't have to.
Shout out to everybody who can stand on their own 2 feet, that's been out the house for however long, doing your thing. Yeah.
And
that's our story.
It's our story. It's a good story. Some people don't work the way ours do. We have a love-hate sometimes. Sometimes we have a hate-love. But all in all, we love each other.
We do.
We love each other. And I know that she appreciates me, and I appreciate her. And vice versa.
My son appreciates her.
And my baby loves me. Both my babies love me. And I know this for a fact. And like I said, I wouldn't have it no other way. So people can call it spoiled. People can call it, oh, she need to get out on her own, kind of stuff like that. I said, but you never know what a person is doing or going through. And you won't know that until you walk into their shoes. Walk in their shoes, rather. But basically, it works for us. And it worked for a lot of people until it got to the point to where it was time for them to go. She can go whenever she get ready. It's not no problems with me. She can go whenever she get ready. I just need to know that she need to know that she's ready. You know.
And I'm not ready yet. But I will let y'all know when I'm ready. So if you guys can kind of relate to our story, or if you have different scenarios or different cases that you guys go through, please leave them in the comments below. If you just want to show love, leave it in the comments below. Like this video, hit that subscribe button. Tell your granny, your uncle, your daddy, your mama, your grandchild,
your baby mama,
your baby daddy. Tell everybody to look at this video, go subscribe, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you can get notifications when I post the new videos. I'm actually going to do a makeup haul for my next video, so just stay tuned for that. Got anything else to say? You're gonna be seeing more of her.
Live, love, laugh.
I'm trying to get her started her own channel. So.
I have a channel. I just don't have anything on it. No content. But things are coming, because we got some things brewing up. As I call it, in the lab. We got some things going on in the lab, and in due season, in due time, everything will come forward. And once again, God's plan.
Stay tuned for all of everything. I love y'all.
And I love you too.